Hey guys, it's Ray here, and welcome back to another episode of trying out paint colors that have been lost to history. So as you guys know, throughout history, there was all kinds of crazy and kooky ways that people made paint. Like for example, part 1 on this video, people used crushed up mummies and poison. And in today's video, cow urine. And obviously in modern day, we have synthetic pigments, we don't have to use pee anymore. And it kind of sucks because these once super sought after colors, they don't really exist anymore. Or if they do exist, they're illegal to find, they're hard to find, dangerous to find, and you just can't get a hold of them. Until today. Because ladies and gentlemen, I have found an artist who studies all of these rare colors that you absolutely cannot find anymore, and with synthetic pigments, he recreates these super rare paints that I bought. And just as a bonus for you guys, I'm also gonna go through my private collection of paints that I have, and I'm gonna swatch them next to these rare colors. That way you guys can see the difference between the modern synthetic colors versus these old school replica colors. But before we get into it, of course, if you would like to see my artwork, I will leave my art Instagram here, as well as my TikTok where I have art tutorials and art tips, so. With that being said, guys, let's just get into it. Here it is. I am so excited to be working with this today. Oh my gosh. Now, I just want to say on behalf of Ryan, the artist who makes these, whatever you order, usually the package isn't all beat up like this one. That entirely is my fault. Not today, Satan. Not today. I'm so excited, so let's just get right into it. So our very first color that we're gonna test out is, ooh, new vermilion. Ooh, vermilion is such a beautiful color. It's a color you don't really see anymore. Now, what made this paint so sought after in ancient times was that vermilion was made from cinnabar. And cinnabar, if you don't know, contains highly toxic amounts of mercury. And it's recorded that the miners who would mine this would only live about an average of 3 years because it was so toxic to get. You'll see this used a lot during ancient China. So pretty much like the Mulan era, you know how there's all kinds of red? Yup, cinnabar. Highly toxic mercury. All right, so let's see what color vermilion originally was. All right, so it's gonna swatch right there. Oh, this is thick. It's thicker than a Snicker. So right off the bat, it's a very vibrant red. It's almost,
dare I say, orange.
Let's thin it out a little bit and see how red it is. Oh, she is thick, super thick. Oh my gosh. This is the truest red I have ever seen in my life. If I could describe it, it's kind of like cad red, except somehow redder than red. Usually oil paint goes from really dark to really light, but this is just through and through a perfect red all the way. Wow. All right, so the first one is cad red oil paint. And cad red is a very similar color to vermilion. If I can get it out. Get out. Okay. All right, let's see. It's very similar, but it's not as red. This red is not red enough. It's orange red. I would rate this maybe an 8 out of 10 for the duping scale. Next up, I have scarlet oil paint. Yeah, scarlet is not even close to it. It's kind of like a blue red. It doesn't have that natural earthy tone to it, 4 out of 10. Next up, we'll have cad red acrylic paint. This cad red is much more synthetic color. It's deeper, it's darker. I'm gonna rate that 3 out of 10. Aw, my nail chipped. The next one is, oh, it's a throuple. The next contestant is Indian yellow. So Indian yellow, what can I say about Indian yellow? I would say that Indian yellow is probably worse than mummy brown from last video. What's worse than using crushed up dead mummies? If I can get this open, I can tell you. Indian yellow was originally made by feeding a certain cow a diet only of water and mango leaves. They would pee onto sand. You would get the clumps of wet sand and powder that into Indian yellow. And basically, it was a very cruel practice. A lot of cows died from starvation for this. It was insanely hard to get, and you can definitely see why we don't use it anymore. So let's see what cow urine yellow used to look like. Oh wow. This is like the perfect mustard natural color. It's so incredibly beautiful. Oh my god. Let me try thinning it out and we'll see how bright it can get. Because damn. That is beautiful. I'm not usually a fan of yellows, but oh my god. I have never seen an oil paint go from like an earthy natural color all the way down into like a vibrant neon-ass yellow. That is amazing. So first up is probably the most common yellow that you see when it comes to oil paints, and that's yellow ochre. They're very similar. It's just this one's a little bit more plain and washed out compared to this one. 8 out of 10. All right, cad yellow, let's see what you got, baby. Cad yellow, beautiful color, but I would say no way, too vibrant, too bright. Let's see true permanent yellow. That is so weird, like the top color is this color and the bottom color is this color. It's like 2 colors in one. Whoa. I feel really bad for the cows, but I could see like 1,000 years ago not having yellow. I could see why they would do that. Let's see what's next. Next up appears to be the blue, which is lapis lazuli. Lapis lazuli. Lazuli. Lapis lazuli. Now, lapis lazuli is actually, you can actually buy it. Out of all of these, you can actually still buy this one, but it's gonna cost you because this color comes from a precious stone that is mined in Afghanistan. You see this color a lot in ancient history when it comes to like china, pottery, clothes, and of course painting. So for this one, we have like no choice but to thin it out to see the true color, so let's see. Oh my god, this is like my ideal blue. When I think of like the prettiest blue to ever exist, this is it. Oh my gosh. This kind of looks like watercolor, except it's not, it's oil paint. I don't think the camera is gonna be able to pick up just how rich this color is, so I'm gonna try to insert a color corrected picture. This is what would be royal. Like this rich, deep blue that like screams sophistication. Beautiful, oh my god. All right, so let's check out the dupes and maybe, just maybe, we'll be able to get something as rich as this. First up, ultramarine blue. Ooh, kinda. You can tell this color is like, it's beautiful color, but you can tell it's like made in a lab. 7 out of 10. Ultra blue. Yeah, no way, that's even more synthetic color. Phthalo blue spelt PH. Oh yeah, no way. That's way too blue. 3 out of 10. Lastly, we have phthalo blue spelt TH. Oh, that's way too much. Oh my god, I just like wasted half of that tube. Dang it. Oh, this is such a pretty color. It's like Lisa Frank blue. So pretty. Oh my gosh. But again, it looks like it was created in a lab. It doesn't look like as rich and royal as this one. So 3 out of 10. Okay, and lastly, I am ecstatic for this color. Like, honestly, I was gonna make a video just on this color alone. Now, this color, again, is a replica because I believe it might be illegal to buy the real thing. And I'll show you guys right now what it is. Now this color, my friend, is called Vantana Black.
It's actually Vanta Black. Vanta Black. But for some reason I kept saying Vantana. It's Vanta.
Now this color is one of the most sought after black colors in the world. Unlike other black colors, this absorbs 99.6% of all light, making it one of the darkest, most black colors in existence. When you look at pictures of it, it looks like Photoshop. It looks like somebody just cut out a piece of a photograph. Like, it doesn't even look real. Now his version is called V Black. Again, you normal people don't even have access to the real one. And I am so excited to see what he cooked up to be like the replica of it. All right, so just put some down. Let's see how dark this color is. Oh, she's very dark. This is so cool. It almost looks like India ink. Like, that's how dark it is. That is so cool. Let me try to thin it out and we'll see how light it gets. Oh, wow. Oh my god, that is weird. It doesn't light hardly at all. There, that is the lightest I can get it. Wow, this color pops off. Oh my god. All right, so starting off with the dupes, we are going in with ivory black. And ivory black is kind of like a washed out gray color. Now, I know on camera they look almost identical, but I can tell you that this one is much more yellow and lighter than this one. So that's kind of interesting. I'm giving it 8 out of 10. Next up, we have Mars Black, which I don't think I've ever used. Ooh, very pretty. Oh yeah, that's very, very similar, but it's a lot more thinned out. It's a very good dupe. It just reflects way more black than the V Black. Very interesting. And lastly, if I can open it. Oh, I ripped my glove. India ink, the blackest, darkest matte black I personally know of. Now I'm just gonna go straight in the India ink. Oh my god, is India ink darker? I don't know, we'll see when it dries, but I think that might be a little bit darker. Wow, that is so crazy. So basically, his version of the V Black is literally like India ink, except in the form of oil paint. Wow, that is mind-blowing. Wow. Honestly, he did a good job making this. Good for him.
Now on to the painting. Now, something I really want you guys to know is that these colors, they're gorgeous, they're beautiful, and whenever I do realistic work, you know, there's a lot of toning down and muting, and I just absolutely could not do that to these beautiful colors. Like, I want them to shine through in all their potential. So I'm not gonna lie, today's artwork, it's pretty weird. I took a very fauvistic approach to the artwork. I really focused on color opposites because I feel there is no other art style out that even comes close to displaying colors like fauvism. And here is the final piece. I am obsessed with these colors. Every individual stroke has a piece of life to it that's so vibrant, and even when you compare it to just like my hand, you can see how vibrant it is compared to life. It is insane. I am so sad these colors have been lost to time. They are incredible, but if you want to buy some for yourself, I will link Ryan's eBay down below so you can purchase them, as well as part 1 to this video. So anyway guys, thank you so much again for watching. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. I will see you guys next video, and please stay safe. Bye.